So for this project, we selected sexism, and out of that, our focus will be on feminism. And we selected this because even though it is not very big of a major issue in most of the places, but it is still there. And we can see it in our everyday life. And for that, we selected 3 of our class fellows who shared their experiences with us during different classes. And we videotaped them, and they talked about their experience, how and where they felt it, and how they felt after that experience. And we because now the gaps this project can fill, we think, is because everyday life, even though those actions are really minor in our society, but women are still facing it, and it is a big thing in everyday life. So the gap it can fill is it can raise awareness between us, our class fellows, and in our daily life it can help us to navigate through in a better and safer environment for the women. So that is what we are targeting through this project, so that it can raise awareness, and it can make it can also start a discussion and motivate people to think more about it. And whenever they experience it, they face those issues, they can actually face it in a better way, and they can think about that in a more informed manner. So that is what our target with this project is.
And like she mentioned, we're focusing on making a change in an awareness sense. So we want people to kind of maybe think of the issues, and even sometimes in ourselves, we can have biases that we're not aware of. And I think we found that a few times, just thinking about, like, even Alex working in a mechanic shop, like ourselves, we thought, well, yeah, maybe a receptionist would be a woman, but the man would probably most likely be a mechanic. So that's a bias that we unconsciously are kind of holding. And we try to use the anti-oppressive framework by focusing on intersectionality. Like, for instance, Samia spoke of her perspective as a person of color and a woman. And also, we're trying to be reflective ourselves on our own biases, and we're trying to focus on giving a voice to marginalized people and pointing out the bias that exists that people might not notice. So that is how we tried to use the anti-oppressive focus of giving a voice to people that maybe haven't told their story before, or a perspective that people haven't thought about.
So yeah, just following along with what Monica and Juliet have been saying, we're just trying to raise awareness and advocating for those marginalized populations, which are the strengths of this project, among a few others, along with the weaknesses as well. It depends on the size of the group that we're speaking to and the demographic of the group that we're speaking to as well. Obviously, with our project, we're going to be speaking among mostly women, and so everybody is quite aware of the struggles that women go through. So that could be a weakness of what our topic is, and so I feel like to make it a little bit stronger, like, we would have to bring in a diverse demographic, just so we can get our point across in that way, so everyone from different groups can be aware of the struggles of how sexism can become a factor in our everyday lives.